Coach, I know it's good to get a win tonight and get some guys some work. I mean, how do you feel about how the team performed tonight?
Yeah, I was very pleased. You know, we got out to a good start, got a little lead, got to add on to it. You know, I actually chewed the team a little bit after the game because that's like a double-A pitching staff out there tonight. I mean, there's a lot of prospects and a lot of stuff, and they really pitched at a high level. I know there's not the stress and anxiety that you get on the weekend, and that's the part we have to be able to handle because you can go watch the Biloxi Shuckers. I don't know if they're going to throw that many guys in one night with that type of stuff. I mean, I thought Pico, that was the best we've ever seen Pico. Carson Liggum was really good. Gavin Black was probably as good as we've seen him. Colby Holcomb, I mean, I think it was up to 98. And Logan Forsythe's mid-90s there at the end. I mean, it was an impressive night by those guys.
Robbie?
And went with Ethan tonight in the lineup, played him at second base. He got his first 2 hits. What have you seen from him and his progression as the year's going on to put him in that position tonight?
What kind of stinks for us is we haven't had this game much. My young guys haven't had a chance. So every time I play them, it's like I'm trying to, get an at-bat in a big moment or a bat in a big game. And Ethan was really good in the fall, really good in spring training. It's his time to get an opportunity, and he had a really good game. He just works. He's just a worker. He just shows up and gets after it. Hasn't pouted, hadn't acted like a baby, and the game respects that. And you see his performance.
You said Sunday you were getting close with Dylan. We get to see him out there again today, I guess. Well, what did you think of kind of what he gave me? I know you had that error, but
yeah, I'm not worried. That's and the hard part is that's the play we can't practice a lot right now. He had just because he's been a little limited, in movement. We just done a lot of work at him. So it's fun. I mean, I told him welcome back. It's typical because he makes that play. That's his best play. But he hadn't been. When you take ground balls in BP before the game, you just don't get that ball a lot. But I'm just glad he felt good tonight. He felt great in pregame, and he's a big piece for us. I mean, he's a really good player.
Doug?
Coach, after a tough weekend with how sharp the pitchers were tonight, does it seem like that they flushed that and moved on from there?
Our team has flushed it. Yeah, we flushed it. I mean, you have to flush it. You can't. I mean, we flushed it. We had a great practice yesterday. It was only about an hour long. We got after it. They showed up in a great spirits today and played. You can't hold on to those things. You see, we've preached all year long. I mean, this is a accumulation of the whole year. It's a build-up. It's not, there's not a defining moments in there. Hopefully at the end of the year we'll have some defining moments. But these guys, they're competitive, and they came out and played ball tonight.
Steve?
Your preliminary thoughts about Auburn. I know you had to get a ball game in tonight, but what are you seeing from Auburn so far this year?
Really good lineup. Really good lineup, and just I know their record isn't they were top 25 for most of the year, and then they have. I thought we had one of the hardest schedules in the first half. They actually have had the hardest schedule in the first half. So they've had to play on the road in some tough places. They've had to play the hot teams. I think they got a pretty good ball club, and I really like their lineup. I know they have some arms in there that have had success and pitched at a high level, but their offenses, they got a chance to do some things in their lineup.
Robbie?
I guess Sunday was kind of the anomaly for y'all, the blowouts. Y'all have had a lot of close games as opposed to what y'all had the last 2 years. Is there a singular thing that you point to that's kept y'all from winning those games that you feel like y'all can do better to kind of get you over the hump? Or is it just kind of a lot of different things that have happened?
It's just finishing. The Sunday game, one of the kids asked me on Monday, Coach, I bet you didn't sleep much last night. I actually slept a lot better than I did Saturday night. Like Saturday night, you can't sleep because there's 6 or 7 different things. If you make one play, one pitch, you win. And so the Sunday game was the accumulation of the day before. I pushed that one away, and that happens in baseball. And it hadn't happened to this team a lot. It's just that, if we can finish a game in Florida, finish a game there, finish maybe 2 games in Florida, you're looking up and, shoot, those 3 wins and you're top 10 in the country and everything else. That's how close we are. And you don't get, this ain't horseshoes, so you don't get much for being close. But the kids have to realize that we have to improve and get better. It's just not going to happen for us. So we've been very intentional on that, and that we have to get better. Just 1%, and we've talked about 1% over the last couple of days of just we have to do a little bit more. That's why I was pleased with the pitchers tonight because they can do that. I mean, Colby Holcomb, 2 weeks before the season I thought he was our Friday night starter, and it just has been a tough first half for him. But I've been around a lot of guys before that take off and put a team on their back, and what he did tonight, that was pretty impressive.
Danny P.
Coach, DJ had a couple of good swings for you tonight. Just talk about where he is in offense.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I mean, he just, you know, just DJ. I mean, just, you know, put the barrel on it. Had a single and a triple. Would they give him a triple on that
Yes.
one?
Mhm.
All right. Yeah, I thought he was good. He struck out on that one, so I'll probably give him a hard time on the strikeout. But he's having a great season. So
Steph.
Do y'all have any update on Tarantula?
yeah, he's fine. He's good. Yeah, so he's, you know, through today, did everything. So I think he's good. So I haven't heard anything. Hey, like I said, his was tight. He could have still pitched. We were just, you know, just got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? So.
Benjamin.
The patience and discipline was really good today. You guys threw 12 blocks. I mean, that hasn't always been, you haven't always been able to do that against pitchers that are maybe all over the place. But would you like?
Yeah, well, that was part of the game plan. I think Go really, you know, it's just not hard. It's not the speed that we usually see. So hey, take a pitch, see a ball, get your timing, and make sure you hit a good pitch that you're wanting to hit was kind of the message tonight. And I thought they did it. You know, sometimes it's hard to get a lot of hits or hit. You know, when they're used to 94 and you're getting 84, it's just a difference in timing, and you don't train every day for that. So we just wanted to see the ball tonight.
Robbie.
How critical do you think Pico could be, you know, seeing what you saw tonight, add another left-hander in the mix, possibly on the weekend?
Because, you know, he hasn't, like, knock on Pico, but in January he was pitching like that, and then he kind of had a little setback. And then, you know, I don't know how many of you guys went to Sanford or saw Sanford. He just was okay there. It just wasn't him. And then him and Park have worked for the last week and a half, and it just, what you saw out there tonight, that's what we were seeing in January. I mean, in January he was 90-92 in the lab, which nobody throws their best in the lab. And it was up to 4, it may have been 5 on the TrackMan tonight. I mean, he's never thrown that hard. And he had the really good changeup, threw a couple nice, he didn't even need the breaking ball, but he threw a couple nice ones. And, you know, that's why we were trying to get a little bit more, you know, trying to build up his innings a little bit, but we didn't want to, you know, we need him this weekend. So, you know, having him available, there was a fine line in that game of getting him out.
Steve.
Logan has hit some balls really hard, but he's kind of been under it. I mean, what are you seeing there? Is it a point of contact issue? Is it something mechanical? Or what do you see when he goes to the plate?
A little confidence. He needs a little more confidence. And if you come out and watch him take BP, he looks great. It's just, you know, this game can be tough on you. So I spoke to him today actually. Just, you know, it's a little bit mechanical, but you know, trying to get him going. That's a big key for us. I mean, we got a guy or two here or there that if we can get going, we feel like we can fill those gaps of those couple games that we just talked about.
David.
So you know updates today about Nate Dillon at this point, start the second half SEC season.
Yeah, I don't have anything on Nate yet. So
Steph.
For y'all, I mean, for someone like Pico, or you guys have had pitchers who've had to deal with injuries the last couple of years. What have you learned about kind of the rehab process with them, whether it be mental or physical, that maybe you didn't know, you know, a couple of years ago?
I wish I didn't know any of it, but yeah, unfortunately you do. It's just different for everybody. It is a little bit. You know, it's different for everybody. Their timing is different. You know, like I said, with Pico, it was kind of strange. He was throwing like this in January, and then he kind of took a step back. And you know, you start facing hitters. You go through that progression. So, but you know, he's worked. I mean, he's gained weight. He's worked on his delivery, and you saw all that come together tonight.